Hi, this is Bradley Davis from Analysis Pro, and today I'm going to show you through the Nacsport video analysis software and the main features and benefits you'll see in the software while using it to tag a rugby union game or a rugby league game. Now, you can see I'm using Nacsport on a Mac here, but it's also compatible with a Windows PC or laptop. And one of the main benefits of using Nacsport as a video analysis software is that it is completely offline, so you don't have to be connected to the internet. We do also have an online solution, which is our Nacsport Hub online platform, where you can upload the game footage, analysis files, and presentations straight from Nacsport. Coaches and players can then log in through a browser or an app and start interacting with the content. And there are also many more features available on the hub. But today we're going to concentrate on the offline version. Now, when you get a footage of a game or a training session, there are some tools out there that make it hard to tag moments, get some data, add some drawings onto the clips. This is where Nacsport comes in and improves that process and also makes it a lot quicker for you. So what we're going to look at first of all is what the final process looks like after you have tagged a game, where you can see your clips and use those filtering tools. Because everything is stored locally on the device with Nacsport, I can easily go to my view analysis, open up a folder of a game I've already tagged, double click on the game here, and you will see I get my video player opening up along with my timeline. So the timeline here, I can easily zoom in and view these clips, but where it becomes really beneficial is you can easily click on these clips and it will take you to that moment in the game. And also it's really easy to edit the length of these clips and move them about to the correct area. Now you'll see I've got different actions down the left hand side here. These have all come from my tagging window from the buttons that I've made categories. Now categories are the buttons that create clips for you that you want to have in the timeline. So it's easily customizable to what you're looking for in that game or training session, for example. But when it comes to going through the timeline, there are tools there available as well to help filter down and find certain clips a lot quicker rather than having to go through the timeline. The first one we're going to look at is the data matrix, and I can easily open the data matrix here. And you will see I've got my categories down here, and then I've got my descriptors on top here. Descriptors are buttons that add extra information into a category. And where this becomes really handy to use is I can go across here, and instead of going looking at all own possessions, I can want to see the ones that came from a line out. So I can go across own possession from line out. There are 4 of them. So you see how quicker that is to find certain actions that have certain descriptors in them. So another great tool to use to find clips a lot quicker rather than using the timeline. Another great feature in the timeline then that does something similar to the matrix but a lot more as well is the dashboard feature. Now a dashboard is linked to a tagging window, and you can create these yourself depending on what data you want to see. So if I open up a dashboard here, you will see this is one I created already, and it's got all my data labels on here, so it gives me an overall view of the data that I want to find out from the game I have tagged. And this is a great feature, an easy feature to use. But where it becomes really powerful is that it's actually interactive as well. So these data labels are interactive, and I can click on these and it will take me to that point in the game as well. So another great way to either get a full image of your data, but also you can use that then to link to the video and find the clips that are linked to those data labels. And you also get, from the Scout version, you get the option to have these graphic descriptors in your tagging window and in your dashboard, and you can mark certain events down on the graphic descriptors here. If you're looking at certain actions like where did penalties come from, where did most turnovers, handling errors, so on. Just an example of what you could add on there. But also with the graphic descriptor from the Scout version, you can use it on the timeline here. So I can open up the graphic descriptor, and I know it's been used for things such as attacking line notes here. So if I click on the category, it will show me the plots on the pitch here of what I've marked down. But where it becomes great in this area is that you can also click on these plots and it will take you to that moment in the game. So you can imagine you could have this open in a training session, and you could open up the graphic scripter and you could see where certain plays came from, certain actions and so on, and you have the video evidence to back it up by year as well. Now, after using the timeline, the matrix, and the dashboard, and also the graphic scripter to find those certain clips, you can then add it into the presentations feature by year. Now, I'm going to open up one I've already done, and you can add clips, as mentioned, from those different tools I just mentioned. When it comes to the Scout version, you can upload clips to the presentations from different timelines. So if you're looking at certain trends or certain actions over the last couple of games, that's where it becomes more powerful in the Scout version. Now you'll see I've got different lists here with different names, so I've added certain clips into those different lists to make it a lot more organized, and you'll see then I've got all the clips inside here. But where this becomes really powerful as well, then I can also add images into the presentation, such as the dashboard or presentation slides and so on, to make it look a lot more professional and organized. But also a great way to highlight any evidence you want to get across to the players. You can also add some drawings into the clips from the Click Draw Animate drawing tool is integrated into Nacsport, and you'll see that plays on there, so it just helps get your point across even better. After you've created the presentation, there are different ways where you can view the presentation back. For example, you can export as an MP4 file, or you can upload the presentation straight to the hub. We've also got this presentation mode where you can easily watch the presentation back from here. So imagine you could move this up to a separate monitor. This control window would stay on the laptop of the analyst or the coach, and then you've got the shortcuts such as your left and right arrow keys to go back and forth, or you've got your M and N to go frame by frame if you want to slow anything down to have a look in more detail, or if a player's got something to say about that play, how they can improve on that. So you can see that plays on, and similar to what you saw earlier, you will also have the drawings come up per year as well on those different timings that you have set. So that's just a quick snapshot of what the final process looks like after you tagged a game. So you've got your timeline, which has all your clips in it from the categories you've created. You then have your matrix to find and filter clips down by using the descriptors. The dashboard gives you an overall view of the data that you've added in you wanted to collect, but also linked to a video if you want to use that as well. And then you've got the presentation, which is ready to create for a team meeting, and you can add clips from those different tools as I mentioned. What we're going to look at now is the different options you have of tagging a video with Nacsport, and we're going to look at how we got to this end product by year. So now we're back in the main menu, and you will see the different options you have of tagging with the video. So from Basic and Basic Plus upwards, you have the option of this tag video feature, which is tagging a video post-event. So as long as you've got the video footage on your device, then you can tag that video. You also have the tag live option, which comes in from the Basic and Basic Plus version, all the way up to Elite. So if you have your camera connected to a capture device into your Mac or Windows laptop, you can then get the footage coming through into Nacsport and tagging live. But you also have, from the Scout version onwards, you have this tag without video option. So if you had any issues or you didn't have a camera, you couldn't connect to the camera or something, then you could tag without video, and it goes off timings, and then you can connect to the video later on. So those are the different options you have, and we're here to help you understand a bit more about your requirements and advise which one of these options is best for you, and depending on the version you have as well. But now we're going to have a look at how we got to that timeline process earlier, when we had the matrix, dashboard and presentation, so on. So first of all, I'm going to click on tag video, and you have to make sure that you have the video file on your device. As soon as I click on tag video, I'm in my tagging environment here, where I've got my video player, my tagging window, and my play-by-play table here, which you will see in a second. So when you come to the tag window, I've got one already created here. We have some available on the Nacsport website. There are samples already created. You can use, download them, edit them how you want, or use them as they are, or you can create your own one. And in the tagging window here, as you mentioned earlier, remember the list we had on the timeline were our category buttons. So this is where you add your category buttons into to create the clips. And then remember, you've seen in the matrix, you had the descriptors across the top. Those are the buttons that add extra information into a category. When you go out to the Scout version onwards, you do also have the option for this graphic descriptor, where you can mark certain locations on a pitch. For example, you could look at your turnovers, your penalties, handling errors, different actions on that pitch. And also you'll see that I've got some buttons overlaid here. These come in from the Pro version, and it's called a cluster buttons, where you can overlay buttons behind each other, and that one click can generate a number amount of data, so help speed up that process of tagging and be able to gather a lot more data with just that one or two clicks. So now we're going to have a look at what it looks like tagging, and how quick and easy it is, and how you can use the play-by-play table to change any mistakes that you've made. So while I'm in here in the video player, if I'm tagging, I do also have the option to skip through here, and I have my left and right arrow keys, which skip 5 seconds, up and down, and so on. There are a number of different shortcuts to help you in Nacsport to help speed up that process of tagging. So as you see, I've got my category buttons here, where I can, for tagging lineouts, for example, I can mark them on the graphic descriptor. Then I also have the descriptors below here. So if I was going to say it was a tackle made and it was negative, I can then click here because I've got that cluster button feature because I'm in the Pro version. And for example, here, I can click on own possession from lineout, and own possession, I've turned it on as a manual mode button, so that stays on for as long as I want, because with categories, you set a pre and post time in them, so that clip is a certain length. With possessions, it's very hard to get that correct, so you can turn it on as a manual mode, and you can leave it on for as long as you want, and I can press escape and turn it off. Or if I was to turn it on here, I've excluded this opposition possession, and now if I click on this, it turns own possession off. So you see it's got those features to help you speed up that process and be very detailed and accurate on the clips that you collect. So once we've done that, you come down to the play-by-play table here, and it's really easy to change the categories here. So if you make mistakes, don't panic. You can easily change them here. Same with the descriptors. From turnover, I could say that was from a penalty. So you see how simple that is, just to change them if you do make those mistakes. And you also have the option to add notes in here. And if you are tagging live or tagging post-event, you do also have the option to open up your dashboard. And you can see the data coming through live as you are tagging. Now, remember I mentioned earlier, we do also have the solutions to share your clips and data live. So the Nacsport Live app and a Hub Live session. If you had the Nacsport Live app, you'd be able to send all the clips through and the full video file through as well, so they can scrub back, and an image of the dashboard. If you had a Hub account and you wanted to do a Hub Live session, then you could upload an image of the dashboard and choose which clips from the play-by-play table you want to upload, so coaches can review on the touchline during the game. So once you've done that, then that's all you have to do is click on the timeline button here, and that takes you to where we were earlier, the timeline environment, where you can zoom in, view your clips. I can move them to the right section if I made a slight error on it. I can also edit the length of them. And remember then, you can use those tools such as the matrix, the dashboards, the presentations feature then. So matrix helps filter down and find those clips a lot quicker. Dashboards helps give an overview of that data you have collected and you've got in your dashboard, and you can use both of them then along with the timeline as well to add clips into your presentation ready to present back to the players and coaches, and add some drawing tools from ClipDraw on it, and also add some PowerPoint slides or images just to make it a bit more professional and organised. So hopefully that gives you a quick snapshot of the features that are in Nacsport and the benefits of using them. Obviously, there are a lot more features available. For example, like we touched on, you can upload full game and analysis straight from Nacsport up to the hub, so players and coaches can log on and start interacting with that content, and you can also do it from the presentations as well. So there's a lot to use in Nacsport, and it's a great tool to help speed up that process of clipping moments up and getting the correct data for a rugby game. So please feel free to reach out to us so we can learn more about your requirements and then advise which version of Nacsport is best for you. Thank you.